They say you'll never forget your wedding day, the smell of fresh flowers, the taste of the cake, the feel of your partner's hand in yours. I remember mine vividly, but for reasons I wish I didn't. Every moment is burned into my mind, not just the beauty of the day, but the red flags I smiled past, the ones I convinced myself weren't warnings. $40,000 gone, a waterfront venue near Charleston, 200 guests dressed to the nines, my crew ditching their work boots for tuxedos, and Rachel Bennett walking toward me like she'd stepped off a magazine cover. My mother cried as I watched her. Her father gave me a handshake that felt more like a caution than a welcome, but I ignored it. That day, I was all in. Before we dive into this story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get into it. I'd met Rachel 3 years earlier, when I was renovating the front lobby of a dental office. She worked the reception desk, bright, bubbly, the kind of woman who laughed too loud at your jokes, but made you feel like the funniest guy alive. It took me 6 weeks to work up the nerve to ask her out, and another 6 to fall harder than I'd ever fallen before. She didn't come from money, never acted like she was after mine, and that meant something to me. But there was always Ethan. Ethan was her ex, the kind who never really leaves, just lingers like smoke after a fire. At first it seemed harmless. He liked her social media posts, sent the occasional direct message, little inside jokes I didn't understand. When I asked about one, she brushed it off, saying he was just a sad guy from her past who couldn't let go. I wanted to trust her, so I did. But one night, about 6 months before the wedding, I came home from a job in Savannah, and overheard her in the kitchen, laughing that fake laugh she used with strangers. Then, I heard his name. She was talking about some old song they used to share. When she saw me, she jumped like she'd seen a ghost. Said it was her cousin. She didn't have a cousin named Ethan. But love can make you mute when you should speak, and blind when you should see. I kissed her forehead and went to shower, telling myself I'd know if she was doing something wrong. The night before the wedding, my best man, Marcus, lit a cigar on the hotel balcony and asked if I was sure. Something about her felt slippery, he said. I laughed it off, told him love isn't perfect, that everyone's got baggage. What I didn't say was that I was just tired of starting over. So I married her, put a ring on a question mark, and prayed it would turn into a period. The wedding was beautiful. She looked stunning in her dress, and when she said her vows promising honesty, loyalty, and trust, he believed every word. We danced under strings of lights, toasted to forever, and later I carried her across the hotel threshold. She cried in my arms, saying she'd never felt safer. I wanted to believe her. But when her phone buzzed that night and she flipped it over without looking, I couldn't help but think of Ethan. 3 weeks. That's how long it took before the cracks showed. I'd just finished a long day pouring concrete, came home sore and ready to eat leftovers in front of the TV. Instead, I walked into a living room that felt like it was holding its breath. Rachel sat on the couch, eyes red and tissues balled in her fists. She told me Ethan was dying stage for pancreatic cancer, said she couldn't let someone she once loved die alone, and she was moving in with him for a while. I didn't yell, I didn't beg. I told her if she walked out, she wasn't coming back. She cried harder, claiming it was the right thing to do. I packed her bag, set it by the door, and locked it behind her. 5 months passed without a word from her. In that time, I renovated the house, changed every lock, and filed for divorce. Then, one night, she showed up pregnant, smiling like nothing had happened. I slid the divorce papers through the chain lock and told her it was over. I didn't care whose child it was. Days later, I got a Facebook message from a woman named Clarathon's sister. She told me Ethan had never had cancer. It was his scam, the same one he'd pulled on other women before Rachel. She sent proof screenshots, messages, voice memos. Rachel had left a stable home for a man in sweatpants spinning lies. Claire and I talked. She said Rachel was broke, unemployed, and desperate, but I wasn't going to call her. Truth has a way of knocking louder than I ever could. I saved every piece of evidence in a folder labeled insurance, just in case Rachel ever tried to twist the story. Sure enough, she did. She posted a selfie with a hospital bracelet, claiming she'd been abandoned while pregnant. Her friends rallied around her, calling her brave. My sister Laura wasn't having it. Her friends swarmed her Facebook page like bees to honey, posting heart emojis, typing out long paragraphs about how strong she was, how brave she was for surviving what I'd supposedly done to her. They shared her posts, tagged each other, turned her into some kind of online saint. But here's the thing about the internet: when you only show half the picture, the comments can look a lot like applause until someone turns on the lights. That someone was my sister Laura. Laura doesn't play games. She doesn't do drama for the sake of drama, but she also doesn't let lies grow roots. And when she saw Rachel spinning her victim's story online, she didn't just comment, she dropped receipts, screenshots of messages, audio clips of Rachel laughing about still talking to Ethan, even the exact dates. Rachel planned to move in with him before the wedding. She started posting the truth: Rachel's messages, recordings of her laughing about still talking to Ethan, plans to move in with him before the wedding. Within days, the sympathy dried up. Even Ethan's sister went public, posting photos of him playing poker 2 nights after his supposed diagnosis. Business picked up for me after that. People respected that I stayed quiet until it mattered. Then I got another call from a woman named Brittany. She was Ethan's wife. She'd been married to him for 6 years, had 2 kids with him, and was pressing charges for fraud, impersonation, and unpaid child support. She sent me recordings, Rachel telling Ethan she couldn't stop thinking about him 2 weeks before our wedding. It wasn't a slip after the vows. She never left him in the first place. I kept it all in the insurance folder. Didn't need to fire unless she stepped out of line. Rachel tried to show up again, first at job sites, then at my office, crying, yelling, accusing me of walking away from our child. But I'd already filed the paternity waiver. When a certified letter arrived trying to sue me for child support and emotional damages, I handed it to my lawyer. The paternity test proved I wasn't the father, and the case was thrown out. Not long after, Ethan was arrested for fraud and unpaid support. His mugshot came to me in a text from Brittany with the words, "Champagne's cold." Rachel vanished from social media soon after. No hashtags, no tearful videos, just gone. And I realized something. I didn't win because I fought harder. I won because I stopped fighting for someone who never fought for me.